This video is brought to you by RV360 Solutions, where we're bringing the RV industry full circle by providing inspections, consulting, and training. All right, so we're going to do a quick walkthrough. This is my prototype for my automatic black tank flush system. What I'm going to do is put in this automatic hose reel. Yeah, this thing will automatically retract the hose just by pushing that button. So coming from here, I'm going through a three-way valve, and you can see on the top of this valve, it's got these lines that show the flow direction. So right now, the water's coming in here, going out this way. So we're coming down, and this blue hose right here is just signifying going into my RV. So I put this valve on here. So if I turn this valve open, you can see there's water coming out of the blue hose right now. So that's going to be the normal. Whenever this thing is not powered, water is going to flow in this direction. So let me go ahead and close this valve. So coming out of this side, so when I apply power to this valve, it's going to change over, and my flow is going to come from the hose reel, and it's going to come out this side. One of the things about this valve is as it's changing position, it will allow some of the water to bypass, so it'll essentially split it. I was hoping that this completely isolated the two sides, but it doesn't. So just because I'm kind of a freak about making sure that my black water is separate from my fresh water, I went ahead and installed a solenoid valve down here, which is probably overkill. So what I'm doing now is this valve is closed, so there's absolutely no way that any of the water coming from my black tank flush can possibly get back into my freshwater system. Because I put a solenoid valve on here and it slams shut so quickly, I also put a hammer arrestor right here. And then I'll show you this in a second, but I put a flow meter on the line going to my black tank flush, and this flow control, it's an electronic flow control system, will allow me to simply push one button and send a predetermined amount of water to my black tank, and again, it's being measured by this flow control sensor. So again, right now I have water pressure in my line. If I open up this valve, you can see that the water's coming out the blue hose. So I'm going to leave this valve open, and I'm going to push my run start button. First time I do it, it just turns the system on. So now I have this set so that at 5 gallons, it's automatically going to turn off. So what that means is it's going to change the position of this valve. It's going to close this valve when this hits 5 gallons. And this is all programmable, so I can put in whatever value I want. So as soon as I push this button now, you're going to see the green light come on. You can hear this motor changing position. And you can see, so now my water's coming out, going through here. The same time that this motor started to change position, this valve opened. So I'm going through my flow meter. You can see we're at 5 to 6 gallons per minute, and it's measuring the flow. So let's go up here, and you can see now the water's coming out the black hose, which would be my black tank flush. So when that hits 5 gallons, it's automatically going to switch everything back over. It's going to close that solenoid valve, and it's going to switch that three-way valve so that now I'm feeding my RV again. So in just a second here, I don't know if you can hear that beep. and now we have the water flowing to my RV. So I think that's going to work pretty much exactly the way I wanted it to. Now, this does operate off of 12 volts. It came with the little AC adapter, and this AC adapter only puts out 2 amps. So instead of having this thing power both the valve, let me turn this off so I'm not wasting water, both this motor in this valve and the solenoid valve, what I did is wired in an external relay. So I've got 12 volts coming in from my battery that's going to send power to both of these valves at the same time based on this guy. So again, push the button, turn it on, and then I can manually turn it off if I want to. So let me just let this switch over. Water's coming out the black hose, and push of a button turns it off. All right, that's my prototype.